As the time keeps slipping away, my mind keeps drifting away. Another day, another dollar in the land of the ballers. Gangbangers and scholars, and Chevrolet Impalas. Made me wanna holler how they do my life. 20 years in the game and I still ain't right, but I still fight for the name, respect of the game, even though things still don't change. We just pray that they get better, hope that we can make it through the pain, the rain and the bad weather. G-Lew, I'm a true go-getter, old school G with a new vendetta. Nike Cortez with LVs on my sweater. Maniac got the track sounding better than ever. Soul of the streets, that's the sound of the cheddar. Cause we cooking like crack and we sell it to whoever. Always been a clever one who stuck to the script. 30 days out the month, I was checking for a grip. Never slip, never fall. Either bang or you ball. You can sit or you can stand your ass tall. White walls with the all gold laces.
The one, the only.
Product of the night.
Gang the service. Gang the service. One had on a black jersey and one was a male Hispanic.
Product of the night.
Male bald wearing a black jacket, blue jeans, white gym shoes. Gang the service. Gang the service. Gang the service.
Product of the night.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
What up, everyone? Live starting shortly. Is education important? Is the topic for tonight. Get your questions ready. Also, if you want to call in tonight, the call-in number is right there. Also, the link is right there if you want to just tap in. The link is right there as well. The link, the phone number, either way. Shout out to DD Hairston, our producer. Shout out to Monica Love Grace. Congratulations, this show is dedicated to you.
Yeah. Yeah. The one, the only.
Product of the night.
Gang the service.
Shout out to the homie Big Joe in the chat. Salute.
Gang the service. Gang the service. One had on a black jersey and one was a male Hispanic.
Product of the night.
Male bald wearing a black jacket, blue jeans, white gym shoes. Gang the service. Gang the service. Gang the service.
Product of the night.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Gang the service.
All right. Here we go. Let's talk about it, baby. Welcome back, Big D, G-Lew. Welcome, everyone. What up, Big D?
What's cracking, everybody? What's cracking? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. You know who it is, the man of the hour, your boy Big D. Welcome back to the
D.
G-Lew show. Let's talk about it, baby. You know what I'm saying?
We got South D in the green room too. South D, I guess, gonna come in. Let us get started in a minute. Let Big D set everything off. Southtown, got you, homie. Go ahead, Big D.
That's right, man. Thanks for tapping in, Southtown. You're always a pleasure to have you on. But like I said, man, it's Monday night. TGIM. Thank God it's Monday, right? This is where we start off the week with a little bit of love and a little bit of happiness, man. You know, so just like I said, it's your boy Big D. Welcome back. You know, let's talk about it, man. I'm your co-host Big D. You know, you can find me at the Big D Keeping It Real on YouTube channel, man. Let's talk about it, man. How's everybody doing out there? Who do you got? Big Joe, what's up, Big Joe? How you doing? Oh, the official Big Joe from the Big Joe show. It's good to see you.
Joe.
Officially, it's good to see you, homie. Thanks for tapping in. Who else we got on here? Keisha, thanks for tapping in. Keisha, always sending mines. Nay Love's in the house. Love and Grace, where you at, baby? You know what I'm saying?
Where's Love Grace at? It's her night tonight. This show is, we're talking about education because, you know, we'll talk about that in a minute, but it's all surrounding Monica, who just graduated with honors and just great things. So we'll talk about that, but this is the reason, I guess, for the show tonight. So go ahead, Big D.
It's the main reason, man. You know, it's one of the main reasons that if you guys know, man, you know, graduation's around the corner, not just only for my wife, you know, but for all the high school, junior highs, and just school itself, man. So, you know, we just want to give a big shout out to all, you know, the graduates 2023, setting it off with their education, whether you're getting your high school diploma, whether you're getting your AA, your bachelor's, your master's, or even your doctor's, man. Big shout out to you guys, man. So, you know, it's a fun time right now, man, and even exciting time because not only did my wife, she's on here right now, Love and Grace, is graduated, getting her degree, her bachelor's degree. But also, it is. Let's give her a hand clap, everybody. Yep. But also my daughter's graduating this year, so she's gonna graduate too. So we have a mother and a daughter graduating the same year, 2023. So shout out to, you know, my wife and my daughter, man. But how's everybody else there doing, man? How you doing, Pops? It's been a minute, brother.
I'm good, homie. No complaints at all. Blessed to be here. Yeah, I mean, it's been a minute. We may be gone for a minute, but not gone for long. So we're back. Glad to be here with you, brother, to break bread tonight and celebrate Monica's you know, graduation as well. It's all good, homie.
And all the graduates, all the 2023 graduates, man. You know, like I said, we all win.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So, you know, like I said, who else is on here, man? We just getting started. Hello, Asia. It's good to see you. Thank you very much. What up? What's up, homie? How you doing? Thanks for tapping into the G-Lew show. You know what I'm saying? Nay Love just tapping in, man. And we're just a warm welcome, guys. You know, no matter all the negativity out in the world, there's always positive on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Just depending what you're doing. Because I used to be the bad guy a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? So you know how that is. But yeah, man. Let's talk about it, man. Is education really important, man? And to tell you the truth, people, it is. In my books, it is. This weekend was crazy. It was in preparation. You know, let me tell you, you know, for all the people, even myself, who, you know, who messed around with education, went to college and so forth. You know, you have your goods and your bad days, man. You know, there's the days where you suffer, man. And there's a day where it's easy, you know. But you know, it says a lot about people, you know, who go to school and educate themselves, the equality, you know, their discipline, and you know, how they want to impact, you know, people's lives and so forth, depending what degree going on. Because we all know, man, that knowledge is power, and whoever says that, you know, schooling ain't no tooling, you know, I don't know what else you're doing besides staying home and playing PlayStation or fiddling your thumbs, man. You know, even in the neighborhood, you got to be educated, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm pretty sure when you're going through the system, you got to be educated. You know, you got to know your players. You got to know the game, man, because if you're not knowing the game, then you're going to get left behind. And the only way to keep up, you got to educate yourself, man. You got to peep up. You got to have game in there. So going back to, like I said, man, let me tell you a little bit how our journey went this weekend, man. Right? So, you know, Big D started a new job. You know what I'm saying? So shout out.
Whoa.
Thank you, everybody. Go ahead, bro.
Congratulations.
Appreciate that, man. Made a transition. Was searching and searching, for the right position, man. And one thing about, let me tell you, people, we all have equality and we all have something to bring to the table, man. Never ever, don't ever underestimate, your thoughts or unbelief about yourself, man. If I can encourage you, man, know what you know and go what you know. You know what I'm saying? If you need to find a new position, if you need to, make some changes in your life, man, make those changes so to better yourself, man, because it was a little sacrifice, and
How does one know, Big D? How does one know when to make that change? Like, instead of being comfortable or knowing, okay, I'm comfortable, but I do need to make changes. You know what I mean? The money ain't getting no better. You know what I mean? But I'm comfortable.
Right. Well, for me, it was, after the pandemic, right? A lot of people were looking for work, man. They were job searching, bro. And, a lot of us got caught, off guard, man, knowing that money was going to end. And there's nothing really to reflect on besides the education you got. So me, I held to the education that I have. I went to some schooling which got me, some good positions in job supervision, management, and so forth in that type of field, office and so forth. So, after like the pandemic, I was searching a little bit and I took a part-time position and, I was a supervisor over here where I was at locally. And then after, through the economy right now, man, it's crazy. It has its ups and downs. So my job made a transition, So during that transition, they move and relocate it. You got to understand that, some jobs are downsizing right now.
Right.
They're taking the facts and they got to make a lot of cuts and, they got to make some changes, man. So, they wanted me to go to another city that was like, man, ain't no way I'm going to go over there at 4:00 in the morning, stay in traffic. Cause I live in the city of LA, people, right? Riverside, San Bernardino County. It doesn't matter where you are, man. Anywhere in Southern California, man, there is traffic.
You get there traffic.
So if you ain't educated and you ain't be smart about, how you're gonna spend your gas money, because gas ain't the way it used to be back in the 90s. You ain't calculating what time you got to get up, what time you got to leave. You're gonna be stuck in traffic all day. So I took a leap of faith, man, and thank God I had my wife there to to give me that support. Made some changes, and found myself a new job. Now I got myself a new job. It's full time this time. It has the whole package, a 401k, all that life insurance and everything, man. So, I got into the office, and so
in the office too. Look at him,
the office, and now Big D's in control again. So
man. He's a company man.
Company man. You know what I'm saying?
Righty.
So Big D's in control of some certain things, man. And I can honestly say that my job has to deal with what everybody does at night, man, sleep. So I deal with the comfort. We manufacture comfort beds. So all the beds you see at Target or Walmart or any other place that has to do big lots and so forth. It might be coming from Big D's warehouse, man. So just remember.
So, hold up, Big D. People might be wanting to get the hookup too. Can they get the hookup? Can they get at Big D for
Yeah, I hear you, man. Those sleep beds, the sleep comfort beds, man. Hey, if I came out with those COVID Corona cards, I got the hookup. Just give me some time, I'll work it.
Okay. All right, Big D, hold on a second. I'm gonna do one thing right quick because I got a couple people here. They pulled up. We got the homie Southtown SD, the homie right there, and we got the homie E Visions. He wanted to pop in and spit some spill too. So Big D is heading everything off. I'm gonna bring a couple people in, Big D. Everyone can kick back and chime in as they go. You know what I mean? But let's welcome the homie Southtown SD is here. What up, homie?
Hey, what up, fellas?
How you doing, Southtown?
Bro, right here. There you go in the building.
Cholo Trucker, saludos, homie.
What up, Cholo Trucker? That's my brother too, right there. Hey, also we got the homie E Visions. He's in the background. What up, homie? Salute.
What's good, people? What's good?
What up? What up?
Doing,
all right, we got
What's
the
cracking,
homies up here.
Southtown, Big D? I see you.
We got a panel up in here tonight. We're gonna talk about this education, homie. Big D, go ahead, bro.
Talk about it, baby.
Let's talk about it. I'm right here in the cut. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So let me start this thing, man. Check this out. We're going to the inauguration, man. We went out and, first of all, I'm going to say I never graduated high school, man, to tell you the truth. I think the farthest I gone was to junior high. I went to high school, but I graduated from junior high, but never got my high school diploma. So, the importance of certain things, man, you never realize when you're a young man. We make a lot of mistakes, whether you're a young woman or a young man, things happen in life, But one thing I do want to say, man, it's never those who are going out there and educating themselves, and no matter what degree or no matter what education you want to follow in. Not necessarily do you have to go to college, man. There's a lot of trade schools out there. There's for automotive, there's trucking schools, there's tiling and so forth, man. There's so many other trades that you could get involved in where you could educate yourself. I understand that not everybody, education in college is not for everybody. And for all the entrepreneurs that say, hey, they don't need schooling at all, hey, big shout out to you. But I'll tell you what, though, man, there's a big percentage in the discrepancies that, for all you people that are out there, that are entrepreneurs that don't have the education, that made millions and billions and are doing it, hey, like I said, the numbers kind of, they're not there. I think it's more of a fact and more of a percentage for those who go out there and educate themselves and go to school, that have a better percentage of a better pay rate and a better, upbringing and so forth, where you get, all the good benefits and everything else that comes, man, with education. Now, I ain't saying that's always going to happen, but you have a better chance, because when it comes to work, who do you think they're going to pick? The guy who just signed in or the guy who signed in with a degree? Now, where I come from, they're going to sign the person with the degree first. Not to say, because a lot of these people come in, man, you've been in the warehouse or whatever kind of industry, and they don't know a darn thing, but they're still going to get their foot ahead of you because they went to school. Now, that's every place that I went to. Now, if anybody has a different experience, hey, man, let me know in the comic, or hey, just say, just keep it real. But that's just where I've been at. You know what I'm saying? So even if you have a little college credits or here, those four or whatever, that's helped me to go ahead of the other person too as well, because so knowledge is power. That's what I'm trying to say, and knowledge is everywhere, man. You need knowledge in the streets, because if you don't know who your enemy is, then obviously you're going to be slippy. You got to know what you're doing at all times, wherever you go, you know what I'm saying? And this is the way our weekend started, to tell you the truth. So,
hey, Big D.
Yeah, go ahead.
Check this out, though. Great points you touched on and everything, but talk to the brothers out there who who are hesitant or don't have the time. Like if you're the age we are right now, and you just can't jump up and go to school. You got to work right now just to pay bills and all that, or people who are kind of hesitant or scared to even do it, don't know where to start or where to go because they're at a point in their life they can't jump up and go to school right now, or don't know how to afford it or get the benefits or aid or whatever they need to do it, homie.
Right. Well, look like I said, I can only reflect on my experiences. I remember one day, right? I mean, we're in San Diego, right there. We're off the pier in Oceanside. And, my wife knows, like, we go out a lot as a family, or we always go, like, to the weekends in summertime. We go to Laughlin or San Diego. We ride jet skis or so forth. So my wife said, like, and I was looking at this guy, and he was driving.
Really fancy.
Right? He was driving the jet ski, right? And he's out in the water, and he's plowing it, dog. You know what I'm saying? And I'm over here on the outside looking in on the pier when I'm just supposed to, like, damn, I really want that. My wife's all like, hey, if you really want that, you should go to school. So she already set the, she planted the seed. And I said, like, you know what? That's feeding me. But I told myself, like, man, I never had this high school diploma. And how am I going to go to college without me going, to high school? I thought you need a high school diploma. Okay, so, to make a long story real quick, me and my homie went together, right? So this is a part. See, people, I'm going to tell you right now. So a person, if you don't have a high school diploma, you have to take an assessment test. And the reason why is because, if you want to get government funding or government grants, where the county or the government funds you with feria, they want to make sure that you're going to go to school and you're really going to take use of that advantage. Not only are they going to give you the money, but they don't just want to hand you out a check and you're going to spend it, eh? So I went out there, I took the assessment 3 times, I failed it twice. And my wife was there, right? So the third time I went to go take her, or else I was going to have to go to, those after school programs and go get my GED. So, I took it the third time and I passed it, man, so bam. Number one, see, that's a prodigy, because when I went to school, it's not that I never learned. It's because I went to school because I was too busy hanging out with the homies. That's why I didn't graduate, man, straight out. I knew I was smart right here, but I just thought I'd be smarter out there just doing some stupid nonchalant things. So anything is possible. That's what I want to say. No matter what the circumstance or what the situation is. Hey, number 2, me and my wife, we just got married. We've been married for like 1.5 years. We had our baby. Bam. So check this out. I was a full-time student and a full-time, working jobs. I would go to school, during the night, 4 days out of the week, 3 hours a day, 3 hours a night. if I was lucky, the teachers would, the class would, they'll cut it short. And then the rest of the 5 days, you can, my wife's, you could ask her, could fact check it, and I'll work during the week. So there's 24 hours in a day, man, and I just had a newborn. I would come home. I was tired. After work, I would come home after work, I'll come home. My wife will have the food ready and so forth. I'll give my daughter a kiss because everything I was trying to think of that encouragement. What was inspiring me was supporting my family. I wanted better for myself. I knew I was not educated, so I knew I couldn't go far with the little that I had. So I thought, all right. So boom, next thing you know, full time, I was going every day. Bam, bam, bam. Went to certain interviews. And then next thing you know, people started picking up and say, hey, well, you go to college? Yeah, okay. So it actually intrigues, whoever you do the interviews with, whether you're talking to a supervisor or HR, you have the conversation, you BS a little bit, like, hey, you throw a little swag in it. It's just like, yeah, I'm going to school for this and scared. So, they want to hire people who are educating themselves because they know if you're willing that they could teach you. You know what I'm saying? So, you provide something when you're educated. It makes it a little bit more authentic, should I say. So I was doing all that, boom, went out there, got all my certificates, boom, took some state tests for the water classes, came short a couple, but I always went back. Just because you go to school doesn't mean that, hey, it's going to be a easy breeze, man. That's what I'm saying. I mean, look how in the United States, we start off at what? Education is a priority, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because not only that, the state gets paid for it, the city gets paid for it, and so forth. Once you mark that you're there for school, the state gets paid for it. Anything else after that, man, they'll cut you short. So going back, like I said, got myself, I was going for my degree and so forth. Found myself in some feedman positions because, hey, educated myself, not knowing, like I said, I didn't finish high school. Waited like 15 years later, after I, helped myself out, got out of the streets and just, cleaned myself up a little bit, man. I wanted something more. There's nothing wrong with having nothing more, but at the same time, there's sacrifices that come with it because I had less already. So I came already going to school with nothing, but with determination and willingness to say, like, you know what, I am a smart man, and the support. My wife was supporting me, she was telling me, hey, babe, just remember that C dude. I remember that's all she used to say. Just remember that C dude. Just remember that C dude. And that's what inspired me. I had a baby that was growing up. I was a full-time worker. And then I was going full-time school, you know what I'm saying? So there's no excuses, man. There's so many hours in a day. Yes, sometimes, the way I thought about it too, man, I was gangbanging the neighborhood 24 hours, 7 days a week, man. I was out there on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I didn't just go to the neighborhood on Saturday, Sunday. Not Charlie. That was not my style. I was out there freaking 7 days because even on the streets, you got to get smart, man. You got to get educated. You got to know who your enemies are. You got to know the do's and the don'ts, how to wiggle, where to go from. It's just crazy. All the politics and all that stuff. If you ain't winning, you're losing. So that's the way I always went to everything that I tapped myself into. So after that, with a little bit of, some things happen, transitions go from San Diego, things get hard, economy goes, we had to move back to LA. And then after, things have settled. So I have settled since then, still almost like 8 more classes, not even, maybe like 5 more classes to go to get my AA, to get my associate's degree for me. Which is, to me, that's like a master's degree because, like I said, I don't have a freaking high school diploma. I thought I wasn't self-taught. I thought I was, wasn't smart at all. Not realizing, man, when in college I was smashing all those classes and so forth. But it's just times of transition. Now going back to my wife, she went kind of through the same emotions, right? But my wife got her high school diploma in prison. I'm saying a little bit of different from what I was doing. And then after that, she came out. When people go, sometimes they inspire you. So my wife was at the same token, like, hey, I want a little bit more for ourselves. So let me dab into it. She dabbed into it. We had the same, our daughter was a little older. And, the struggles are still real, man. People say the struggles real. And she had her do's and her don'ts. I seen her crying and, this is hard and so forth. But I always kept on supporting her the way she did to me, right? It is, baby, you could do it. You have your good nights and you have your bad nights. You have the days you want to drop classes. Sometimes you do drop classes. You got to take that class over because you don't want to fail. You don't want to mess up your financial aid. There's a lot of things that go into it. But the program's there. The schooling's there, man. People come to this country to educate themselves, man, because knowledge is power. You know what I'm saying? Whoever's saying that, they don't need no education. Okay, if that fits you, then that's fine. But I'll tell you what, the majority of the people in this country, man, a good source of them, man, to try to better themselves, they're in school. Or like I said, and it don't have to be college. It could be a trade. You know what I mean? You could be an electrician, man. You could do, I mean, you could do anything you want, man, in this, when it comes to education in this country. And then, you know, if you come from a, you know, low income company, you know, there's a lot of resources, man. You know, I come from a low income sources, you know, I don't have all the money in the world. And hey, I was able to, you know, get all the benefits from school. And that's why people come to this country, to get all the benefits and all the resources so they can educate themselves and take it back to wherever they're coming from, Mexico, China, wherever they want to come from, man, you know, because like I said, if you're getting educated, it's one of the, you know, I could say sufficient education places to get your education in the United States, man. You know, you could go to other countries, and like I said, man, and they'll hire you more, and you know, and you gotta, we went, when I went to Amsterdam, to Europe, we came across an American, right? And he was getting paid, I forgot where you have to give up your citizenship to order to be a citizen from them, but they pay you double the amount because of the education that you have. So like if you're a lawyer over here, you know, you renounce your you know, your citizenship over here, and you become a citizen like in Amsterdam, and they pay like at least a third more of what you're making that they will pay you over here. So that was just like a trip, man. So like I said, man, my wife went out. There was a lot of cries, there was a lot of hiccups, there was a lot of ups and downs, there was a lot of arguments, there was a lot of cries, there was a lot of happiness. But at the same time, this is where we're at, man. You know what I'm saying? This is where I came from, you know? We went, we set everything up. I seen the emotions of my wife. You know, she has a family that's pretty, she has a sister that got her degree too. You know, she's an accountant. She makes over 100K a year, you know, but it was for her. You know, when you do something in life, make sure it's for you, not just everybody else. Yeah, you know, my wife's doing it for me, my daughter, and so forth. You know, that's cool. But make sure anything you do in life, make sure you do it for you. That's the main thing. Don't do it for anybody else, because you never know that maybe, you know, there's things can happen, man, you know, so, you know, you want to make yourself, you know, proud first. You want to take that integrity, man. You want to make sure that, yeah, I did it, you know, but the support, everybody else is, you have to have that support system. And my wife, you know, just with me and the few siblings that we have and hang around with, his church and people, it was all gravy, man. It was all good. And she was able to go over there, like I said, and there was a struggle that first night, because we didn't get to Phoenix till like 1 o'clock in the morning, 12 midnight. They canceled our room. So we were motel searching for like an hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? Found a room, got up at, you know, 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning, because my wife, you know, she wants to beautify herself. It's a big moment for her. I didn't realize how everything was taking place. There was a lot of emotions that was taking place, man. And then after, you know, we got to the stadium, she thought she was going to be late and so forth. She had to be there at a certain time. But not knowing that nothing's really, you know what I mean, planned to perfection. You know, everything you just got to go with it sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, my wife went out there, and, you know, we made it to the ceremony, and, you know, people came out, you know, I don't know what they call them. My wife knows, you know, and they started saying, hey, I was here. I've been here for 10, 15 years. I wanted to do this. And they were talking about the same thing, the struggles, man, you know, for some of us that can relate, not everybody. But, you know, just the things that you have to go through in the past and the journey that, you know, you go, and it was a whole experience. And then to see my wife called up, and, you know, she had her cap and gown and everything. And, you know, there's a big old picture, and you see her name on the book, and then they call her name. And we're like, just like, wow, it was a monumental moment, and it was very emotional. And, you know, I can honestly say, man, I was proud of my wife, and, you know, she was able to accomplish her goals. And for some of us who know my wife's, you know, testimony, she comes from a long way. You know, she came from the prison system. You know, she came from the projects. You know, she has a lot of stuff that, you know, I don't want to say too much, where, you know, the relationships were wrong and violations were there. And through all that, she was still able to, you know what I mean, gather her thoughts and emotionally, you know, keep herself, you know, stable, you know, no matter what the situation came across, man. You know, she went through all the diversities, man, and now she's, you know, she got paid, man. So, you know, that's how it happened. You know, she got a degree, and we took pictures after. It was hot as heck over there in San Diego. Shout out to freaking, you know, Drunken Chef, man, and saying all the people, Joker, who everybody lives out there, man. San Diego is hot. I mean, not San Diego, Phoenix is
You
hot.
got to see a Drunken Chef.
Yeah. No, we were supposed to hook up, but, you know, we just didn't cross paths because of timing. He was at an event. I was at my wife's event. By the time we got out, man, we ate, you know, at the local restaurant, and we were tired, man. We knew we had another 6 hours to drive back. So we just did a turnaround, man. We drove over there, slept 6 hours. My wife got her, you know, her degree, and then we bounced out, man. You know, inauguration, we're rolling down the river, man. So it was full. We got back, you know,
Hey,
celebrating.
did she pop? Did she pop? Did she do the robot or
Some
anything?
people,
But she got her.
no, a lot of people did that, man. There was a lot of people, you know.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, they had a lot of people had the cap, you know, they had it all designed and all that stuff. I mean, it was pretty awesome.
Oh man, well yeah, bro. I mean, that's what's up. Yeah, I didn't do nothing either, bro. I was just messing around. When I graduated, I just walked up and walked off. My family's like, man, you should have stayed there longer. I was like,
yeah. I mean, we just did it. It was our first time. You know, if it's your first time going out there, you know really what to expect. You know, it's just like
bro,
I said,
mine was at a convention center. Was it in a big building with like thousands of people?
we were at the Phoenix Stadium, at the baseball stadium, the Diamondbacks.
Oh man, see, that's what I'm saying. It's nerve wracking, right? With like so many people, man.
Yeah, it was like there was a gang of people. There was like thousands of people there, man. So, you know, like I said, it was a big thing, not just for like my wife. So like when my wife yesterday, she said, man, she graduated for all of us, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, let everybody know, like, hey, it could be done. You know what I mean? It's a prime example right here on the G-Lew show, on the Big D Keeping It Real show. You know, whoever she taps in, man, you know, she's just letting them know, like, hey, whoever supports us, man, you know, we appreciate it because it all goes back to you guys, man, you know?
Yeah, hopefully we can get Monica on here before it's over to say a few words. Hey, I want to ask SD, because, you know, he went to school as well. Everyone, you know, different things and avenues but what does education mean to you, Southtown SD? Like, you know what I mean? For you to go, you know, do what you did and get your accreditations and paperwork and all that. How was education to you?
Yeah, so for me, man, like same thing, bro. I didn't graduate. I didn't end up getting my my diploma because I was in Campo at the time. But what I did is I ended up just getting my GED when I got out. I could have still got my diploma, but I didn't. I just started working because I became a dad, so I started working. But what I did before I went back to college, I don't know if they still have them now, but I believe they do in any community colleges. But I took ROP courses, man. So like that was regional occupational program, and a lot of those are free if you're low income, or even if you're just young and you don't have an income, the government will pay for it, and you don't even got to pay those back. Those could be like 1 month to 3 months, right? So I did a security. So my homie called me Trip. There's a place down here called PSTA, Public Safety Training Association. It was a 1 month course, and you learned security on all levels, like from like stadium, clubs, airport. Like it was pretty dope. The instructors was a former FBI agent and a La Mesa PD officer, and then a former military cat. So old cat. So these dudes had real experience. The police officer, he had 16 years on the force, seen so many things. So it was cool to learn just from them all these different things in a month. At the end of that month, you have your taser, baton, pepper spray, firearm. It's like the complete course, not just your guard part. It was everything. So I did that one, and then got a security job and did that for like 3 months. But graveyard was crazy, so I couldn't hang with graveyard. And then I did an apartment manager class. That was like 2 months. And see, the thing too, man, is for me, at least in my experience, every time I went to these schools, not only did I meet cool people, a lot of different people, but just learning more. Like you mature, and then you want to learn more. Once you start learning something, then you're like, man, this is cool, because yeah, you know, especially if you're trying to hustle yourself. So it's just like you're adding you know, weapons to your arsenal, the more things that you could do on paper though. And that's the thing, like the thing is having that paper, and that's where like how part of the topic is, right? There's some people who have the hustle and they don't have no degrees, right? But what I seen when I went to college, the smartest people were people who already had their own businesses and didn't have an education, so they knew how to do it, but they wanted to learn more. And I would trip out on them in the class when their eyes would light up, when they would learn something and be like, that's what I needed. That's
Right.
what it was. So it's like no matter what, you're gonna improve. And a lot of them, man, they took their businesses way further
Right.
by getting that degree.
Right.
But yeah, you know, like G-Lew was saying, like for people, what can they do? The easiest thing to do, man, especially now, is go online, see what you qualify for, as far as first figure out what you want to learn about.
Yeah.
And if you're not sure, just start doing your general classes, and then you'll probably figure it out from there.
Right.
But
Because you
trade
got to start out
schools,
with general eds too.
yeah,
So what-
like in this day and age, I would recommend more a trade school, only because depending on what you want to learn and use your degree for, it takes very long. So a trade, and especially right now, the carpenters union, like any kind of construction trade, man, that's a
Flooring,
lifetime job with
electrical.
benefits, with you know, you'll be good. They pay you really well. You'll be making really good money, and you'll always have work, especially for the next 10, 15 years. In San Diego alone, bro, they're remodeling J Street. They're doing a new airport. Like, we got construction for years out here. So the work is definitely there. They even have like yeah, it's a trip, bro, but like, to me, that's a
important what you
smart
said
way to work.
too, knowing what you want to do though, because some people just, you know, try to get a degree in something, like you said, that ain't what they want to do, or they're not really good at, or whatever the case. You know, knowing what you want to do, what you would like to
And
do.
then, yeah, and on that note, I would say the best thing to do is look at what you like. Whatever you really like and you like, then figure out how to get paid at what you like doing, especially if you're any kind of artist, or you're good with decorating or anything, you know.
That's
Study
another
that,
thing. That's another thing.
learn more about that, you know, what comes natural, because then you'll be easier. It'll be easier for you. It'll be natural, and you're going to like it. And then you'll just excel in what you already like to do.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Go ahead,
very
baby.
true. That's very true, man. Because like I said, there's a lot of opportunities, man. I remember going to school, and I took Chicano studies, man. And you know, they talk about, you know, teachers, you know, sometimes, you know, they don't want to reflect too much and put, you know, like, I wouldn't say he was putting our race down and so forth, but he was saying, man, he knows that a lot of times that, you know, with the Hispanic community, is that, you know, they don't really educate themselves, you know what I'm saying? And that's why, you know, like Mexico, like, you know, America went like 50, 60 years past, you know, what they did, and left everybody else behind as far as education. And that's why America was able to, you know, to expand all across the world. Because I mean, when America's when the world's sleeping, man, America's building, man. You know what I'm saying? They're awake. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're working 25. You have a supervisor that went to Yale. He's at his graveyard. You know what I'm saying? You got another one over there that went to freaking USC. He's a bachelor.
Hey, but trip on this though, Big D. What they did though, they really didn't in knowledge though, they really didn't surpass. What they did is they just made English the dominant language, right? Because if you go to Mexico, bro, in Mexico, elementary school, in elementary school over there, bro, they do algebra in like 5th, 6th grade. We don't do that over here until I think 7th or 8th grade. Like they're a few grades ahead.
Yeah,
like they learn a lot faster than we do. But you know what? That's intentionally. I just learned that they've made it that way. They didn't want us to really learn as much over here, bro. They want us to be workers.
They surpassed us by not educating us and transitioning to, you know, what they thought was other foreign lands and so forth. You know, they just thought,
yeah.
You know what I mean? America will be, you know, the
like
primary.
We took over. Yeah, we took over for sure.
The
but
primary country where if people want to come and get their education, they have to come to this land and so forth, to the United States. That's why a lot of people are diverse. They come from other countries, China, or, you know what I mean? It could be Europeans, you know.
Hey, bro, and how hard is that? Can you imagine if we try to go to another country and learn their language, bro?
Yes.
I give those people I always have respect for people from other countries, bro, that come here.
And they
I
come
respect their hustle,
man. They come over here and do the damn thing. Like, and we're still over here playing around, and they come over here.
So let me finish with
that should be a motivating factor to the raza and anybody out here.
So let me finish what I was saying. That's what my Chicano studies teacher was saying. Is like, hey, why other countries come over here and they use our system, why we just wake up 10 o'clock, we're yawning on a Monday and we're wondering why, like, oh man, I wish.
But it's not our fault though, Big D. We were programmed to be that way, dog. We just fell into that thing.
It is our fault if we're not paying attention and not bettering ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of goes hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can only take the responsibility when you know this is the land of milk and honey. You could go out there.
You gotta open your eyes. That's it.
No, that's just the way it is. You can't blame everybody else in the system and so forth. When you're born here,
oh hell no, yeah.
When we're born in America,
look, on the flip side, that's true. That's very true. But look, on the flip side, though, to some degree, we are more settled and spoiled to an degree where you got someone from another country really going through it day to day. So for them to come over here, they're already ready and focused and hungry, homie. You know what I mean? We ain't that hungry no more.
They have no choice. Yeah, that's why like what I would do, bro, I would take my kids, we go to Tijuana and they would see real quick how blessed they were living over here, having a house, having a room. Right. Like they seen how the kids are out there juggling, doing flips and hustling in the street, bro. Because like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds, bro, that are already having the hustle, and that's life in a lot of countries, man. But that's one way to keep yourself humble. Sometimes you gotta see the bad side to remember, man, I'm blessed, whatever I do have, and then try and make it better wherever you're at,
Or you get tired of just settling for the less and you want to better yourself too, because like I said, the economy now, as you see, sometimes can't even be trusted. So it's just like, man, if you're not going with the flow, then you're gonna go below, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you're not educating yourself and trying to make better standards, because it's all about building a foundation, man, and also it's about building a legacy, and it's all about inspiring and teaching. Those, like I said, now my daughter, she was able to go and see my wife graduate, knowing that she's gonna graduate in a month, less than almost in a month. So it's just like, okay, now you could go, you see your mother graduate, kind of her story. And so there's no excuses now.
It's just an example.
You want to be an example. And, I thought that was, so beautiful, and the whole transition, because, to when my daughter and my mother-in-law were able to see my wife, to grow and to graduate, it was inspirational because it made me like, man, I got to go back to school too. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we got the homie E-Vision. I'm gonna bring him in and let him speak because he wanted to tap in on this conversation, bro, about it.
Yeah, bro. Go for it, brother.
Introduce yourself, homie, and speak on it, bro. What up?
What's good? Nah, man, like I said, if most of you guys are subscribed to my channel, and I always talk about education and for the youth, but nobody's never too old, man, to get educated. Like me, when I grew up, I couldn't go to no regular high schools, man, as I was in continuation, and I felt like shit. Like seeing everybody else, being able to graduate in ceremonies and, attending all these school functions. And so anyways, back in 2011, I went and got my GED, and then I felt like that was enough. I wanted to go higher. So I went and got my diploma, right? I got them both. And then I started to see it opens up more doors. So last year around this time, I graduated college. And then like a week later, I'm pursuing my bachelor's degree right now. I'll be done next year around this time.
All right, there you go. Congrats.
Where you going? What school, bro?
Fresno Pacific.
Nice.
What are you taking?
I'm going for my bachelor's in criminology.
Wow.
So I wanted to do originally I wanted to do probation, man, but I work for a school district. I work with kids, so my goal is as a counselor.
There you go. There you go, man. That's
because a lot of it's when you work in the school system and you're dealing with at-risk kids, you got to realize that people just like to put a label on kids. They got a behavior issue. This was going on, so let's just stick a label. But if you can relate to what they're going through, you build rapport with these kids, and you could give them advice, and it just hits differently. They understand. They soak it up more.
Right. Because they relate them a way out too. Yeah, they relate to somebody that's not only that has done it, but been through it, man. That, okay, homeboy got a degree and this and that, but guess what? You don't know his life story, man. Like, hey, the struggle's real. So not only did he talk the talk, he was able to walk the walk because he was a prodigy of the system, but now like he transitioned to education. So now people can relate to him and be like, you know what? Oh yeah, you did this before. Yeah, I did that. And it makes it a lot better and more like, hey, you want to build relationships. That's why I know what education does. It's crazy, man.
Right.
You know what I like the most about what you're doing, though, brother? You're working with the kids. I'm like, and he wants to do that.
Yeah, we need more of that.
We always talk about that. That's what's going on right now, the disconnect with our younger generation, homie. You know what I mean? So if you want to make that connection and do that for a living, bro, that's a salute as well, homie.
Yeah, because it's not an easy field to work in, and when I say that, it don't matter what you do in the education field. A lot of the stuff that you see, like when you get to learn these kids' home life, the environments that they come from, the circumstances, it's heartbreaking. Right. A lot of it is, and a lot of these kids, man, they want attention. They just want someone to be there. But you got to understand now, times are different from when I grew up without a pops. My dad wasn't around. My mom died at a young age, so I went through that struggle. Nowadays, mom is usually the one that's working, dad's absent, or in some cases, mom's absent and father's holding it down. You know what I mean? But like me in my house, education is important, bro. Like my kids, if they bring home anything less than a C on the report card, I take away everything. No TV, no phone, no devices, none of that, bro. And I push them only because I'm trying to teach them a lesson. See, they don't understand that. They're like, nah, you're too strict. And I said, nah, one day you're gonna look back and you're gonna thank me. That's right. And it's funny that I say that because
you don't get them parents like your age that's pushing like that nowadays. So that's to hear that, bro. That's
yeah, because nowadays a lot of parents they want to be friends with their kids, and you got to be their parent. You got to be their parent.
Yeah, I always tell my wife, with our daughter, man, I don't want her to fear me. I just want her to respect me. That's it.
Right.
That's it. I didn't have a father figure. I'm not gonna wild out and be all crazy on you, but at the same time, handle your business. Do your job, man. If I came from nothing, what's your excuse? If I didn't have a father figure, my daughter has both, me and her mother. And, we both made attempts, graduated, and, went to school. So I'm hoping to be everything but something that's not successful. It's just like, come on, the standards are real. So we could raise, we're doing what we're doing, raise the bar. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's at, like he said, man, you'll thank me later. I'm not here to be your friend, man. I'm here to be your parent. You could dislike me, you could hate me, you could leave me alone, but go get your job done, show up to school and get those points. And if you don't know, there's always a source. And that's a good thing too, because parenting, a lot of times our daughter came and she's asked questions, man, can you help me on this mathematical problem, or what's this history? And just to build, that's another way of building a bond, with your kids. Because when the kids come to you and you know how to solve a problem, or you sit down and they see that the importance, like, man, my dad is smart, my mom is smart. You want to provide that security for them, like say, like, hey, how E-Vision said, like, you want to let them know when they go onto the real world, it's just like they'll be able to handle success. They won't be overwhelmed with failure. They'll understand that to make those adjustments. Like, okay, like I know I have a problem here. I did this wrong, but I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. And that's what we want to do. So, we need more people like E-Vision. We need more people from the streets. We need more people, from the minority colors, and say like, hey, we could do this. You want to be an ambassador? You want to be the president of the United States? There's nothing wrong with that. The sky's the limit, man. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to be comfortable and play PlayStation out there, you want to be in the neighborhood drinking, smoking, if you want to just, think that, hey, being locked up in gangbangs, I mean, you're only going to go so far, man. I thought I was just going to be in trouble and just die like everybody else in the streets, man, and end up just saying, sometimes you got to make a change and grow up, man.
Right.
What's the thing too of if you don't know, when you get your bachelor's degree, for many jobs, many professions, if you don't have experience, it counts for 2 years. Mm-hmm. So, or let's say the job requires 4 years experience and you only have 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, guess what? Your degree gives you the other 2. So now you qualify for these jobs that would have took you 4 years to qualify for, because of that degree. So that's one thing that a positive that a bachelor is going to get you. That only comes with the bachelor's, right?
You
Then
that's
also
your experience. You're right.
yeah, not only that, like I heard too, I haven't confirmed this, but I believe in some trades, even to get your contractor's license, if you have your degree, it counts for a year or two. So in other words, you could get it a little bit faster than the normal process. And then also, like you said earlier, bro, when you go up heads up against somebody, if you have that degree, it's gonna look better, and it also shows that you can complete something that takes 4 years to complete. Even if it didn't take you that 4 years, that's what normally it takes. That's what it took me. And it shows that you are you can be committed to something.
Yeah.
So that's those are all good reasons why to get a degree. Not only that, the things that you're going to learn along the way, the connections and the people you're going to meet along the way. If you do in class, I believe in class is important. I didn't do any online classes. I know that's real big and popular. And I mean, I'm sure it's effective, but there's nothing like being in a room. I went to the University of Phoenix, so the classes were 4 hours, and then once a week, and then you had to meet with your group once a week. And like Big D was saying too, man, when I did it, my two older kids were like 8 and 9. I was coaching my son in soccer, and I was going to church Sunday, Wednesday, and Fridays, man. So there's no excuse, man. Like I did it while I was doing all of that. Of course, I was a lot younger at the time.
Yeah.
But still, it doesn't matter. There's seasons in life.
Yeah.
So if you look at it as a season, then once you get through that, it'll be worth it at the end. There's seasons that you got to grind and save. There's seasons that you could just chill. So you got to know where you're at in your life too. Yeah. And then know like, okay, I'm going to do this. And that's just what I'm going to do for right now. And then after that, you could, then you
can wiggle in
that job.
Yeah, they do. When jobs, they hire you and you present them, even if you take like a semester, that you're already ahead of the game. Because everything that South was saying, it just shows accountability. If you look at all these big universities, right, USC, Notre Dame, and all that, they take the smartest kids from the schools, man. You know what I'm saying? So they could go over there, be the alumni, and then when they get a job, where'd you get hired at? What school did you go to? I went to the University of Oregon. It makes their, foundation look recognizable. Like,
so check this out real quick, not to cut you off, Big D, but before I forget. So for Raza, for Latinos or any minorities, you can look up colleges, like especially like New Mexico, colleges that are out of California, and they'll pay for you to go there because they need minorities, bro. There's colleges that need to have minorities and they're not garbage colleges, man. They're good colleges, beautiful colleges, man. And so that's one thing that to let everybody out there, if you got youngsters that are gonna go to college or in high school, you can look into those schools, and yeah, they might have to move away, but guess what? They're gonna have a lot more opportunities there, and the competition here is fierce. You know what I mean? Like as far as everything, because the more people, the more competition. That's just the way it is. So that's just another thing to think about too for anybody, but especially for young kids coming out of high school going to college. New Mexico, Arizona, what's the other one? I believe even like Colorado, all the states down here, Nevada. If you got some kind of sports or some kind of grades,
they'll take you.
They'll take
you, man, because they're looking for the most smartest, talented kids that will represent their university, bro. So when you go get a job or so forth, they want to know what alumni you came from. Hey, I came from freaking Alabama. I came from Oregon. I came from San Diego State. So
and student loans.
It makes the job and the company make it more resourceful.
Oh yeah. Especially coming from Cali.
Yeah,
you get an advantage coming from Cali.
That's why when you go take that to other freaking countries, they value that, and they'll be like, I'd rather hire that guy right there because not only he's from the United States, they're smart because the schooling. I ain't gonna say is bad in Europe. They just have a different way of ethics of teaching. Now going back to the Europe thing, over here there's only 2 languages, bro. Straight up. There's only 2 borders, which is Canada is English, just like America. and then you got south of the border, which is Spanish, and every other country down there, down south, is some sort of Spanish. You know, whereas in Venezuela, Mexico, you know what I mean?
They still speak, Nahua and dialect and Mayan, but
all that.
for the most part.
But when you go to Europe, they're very fluent in many other languages. That's when I noticed over there, you know, you could speak Dutch, you could speak British.
Yeah. They speak 3-4 languages, bro, for sure.
Speak like, I'm like, what the freak? Like, it just tripped me out. And so, you know, you got to be able to communicate, man. You know, you got to be able to go and have those kind of conversations, and it only happens by teaching yourself, man. And that's why in life, I think if you're not learning, man, you know, like I said, you're not paying attention, man. And it's just crazy, man. I had asked me and Monica one time, we went to go buy a car, right? And then after, you know, the guy tried to sell us with a high sick percentage, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't think that we didn't know our math, right? But it's because I was struggling in math, right? I was struggling, but I remember we were talking about, you know, it was about percentage, you know, how they this and that. And the guy he's here, he goes, all right, we're going to give you this percentage for this year, you know what I mean? For 5 years, you got at that time, like, you know, you got to understand 10 years ago, you're going to be paying $500. I was like, man, I go, what are you trying to burn here, homie? You know what I'm saying? So I told him the numbers and this percent when you told us this, and we caught him in the lie straight up, and like, man, we're out of here, dog. Like, you know, we ain't stupid, dog. Because just because you see a tattoo in our arms or in my head and all that, you know, and people will take advantage because you know, uneducated, bro. And if you see that around the world, man, people are taking advantage of people because they're uneducated. It's a sad thing.
Yeah, you got to be book smart and street smart.
Hey, I love what do you call that? Showing people and letting them know that cholos do it better, Holmes. Straight up,
you know, gangsters do it good too, man.
It's gonna be one of my segments, Holmes. Is cholos do it better, and I'm gonna explain how we do everything better, homie. Straight up.
Okay, that'd be pretty interesting to watch. So trip out on this, eh? So you know, the first guy who gave me my interview, man, shout out to West Carson TV, right? And you know, we went out there to Homeboys Industries right there in LA, and we had an honor and a privilege to interview some, you know, a gentleman there, right? And you know, we were talking, you know, just getting some clips, you know, to put it on the channel. So I told the homie, dog, I was like, hey, dog, like, you know, what do you think about education, dog? And this is what he said. He goes, check this out, dog. He goes, I got a Wheela, right? He goes, I had a Sally, and the Sally, me and him were in there for a minute, right? He goes, but one thing, he goes, I didn't know how to read, homie. I didn't know how to read. I was like, all right. So he said that, you know what I mean, his homie will read the kites, dog. You know, him and the homie are like, hey, read me the kite, homie, read me the kite. So he said one particular time, dog, he caught a kite. And the kite said, for your eyes only, dog, you know what I'm saying? And you know what time it is with that, dog, you know? But homie had his homie read it. And so it was for him to take care of, you know, the homie, you know, his Sally, dog, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like, you know, he put himself in a situation where like, hey, dog, like, that's how important it is. Like, he didn't know how to read. And, you know, he ended up saying that, I mean, it would have been a lot easier if I knew what I was reading, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to have to do what I had to do anyways, dog. So it doesn't matter, you know what I mean, where you come from. And, you know, there's a lot of people that don't know how to read. They don't know how to add, you know what I'm saying? They don't even know, you know, common English, man. You know, they don't know the verbs and the vowels, you know what I mean? It's from the nouns to the pronouns. And, you know, you got to know how to use pronouns these days because of the way.
Hey, that's a good point. No, it's a good point, bro. You got to humble yourself because I know I had to, dog. When I went back to school, I think I was like 28. I didn't know nothing about computers, bro. I didn't know. They're like, go to your search engine. And I'm like, search engine? I'm thinking like a car. And it was, and no lie, it was mainly like white people, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was raza, it was a mix, but it was mainly like, people, man. You know like my group, they were already educated and they were on it. That's what I'm saying. And they were a little younger, but it was a mixture. But anyways, they helped me out. But yeah, I had to humble myself and just be like, hey, I don't know, can you help me? And then I just had. But it could be embarrassing sometimes, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, that's why I love my job, man. Because I got my own reading. I'm an intervention teacher, so I have my own reading and writing group. Because there's a lot of kids because COVID really set a lot of kids back.
Yeah, they did.
With the online
Those
learning.
kids that were that age, huh? That's 15, 16, and 17. That
Yeah,
were all those kids got jacked, man.
they did.
Yeah, a lot of kids are really setting back. Well, I work with the younger ones. I work from like with kindergarten through sixth.
Oh, okay.
So like
Good age, though. That's a good age.
but a lot of those kids they really got set back as far as academics, man. Like a lot of them, like, and no disrespect, and I'm not. It's never a joking matter, but a lot of these kids, like fourth graders, are reading at like a first grade level. You know what I mean? But it's just I love what I do. Sometimes it could be stressful, but it's also rewarding.
Yeah.
Right. And I like how you said that. E. I mean, we mentioned this earlier, man. Find something that you can help yourself and help others, man. Have a passion for it, because if you're gonna work and complain, man, then you ain't doing your job. Find
Now,
something.
you're directly impacting the future, bro. What you're doing is amazing.
Yeah, and
Right.
that's
I
what
really
the world
commend you,
needs.
homie. I commend you, E. I just thought I'm glad you tapped in tonight. I got to know you, homie. I just thought you was just a cool little player or something, a model or
Nah.
something.
Model it out. I'm not,
Hey,
man.
that's just on YouTube, dog.
I know, he was all like, "Hey, this is what you got here."
Right.
What's
Nah,
up?
I appreciate you, brother, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and all around, man, there's a big importance in education. Trust me, I had a lot of people say that, hey, education ain't important. I know a lot of, when I was growing up, a lot of us thought like that. To tell you the truth, most of my homies, I'm probably just one of them, a few that just went to even try to just pick up a semester or so forth, man. But like you said, hey, it got me in the office, man, making more money and job security. So if they find out, even like Southtown was saying, if you took a couple semesters, you're already above the game. You're already above the next man, no matter, regardless how long that guy's been there. That guy's been there probably 20 years, and you come in with an AA, and they're gonna pick you first, man, because everything comes behind it. As far as like how Southtown even said too, it shows a lot of dedication to it, discipline. It shows that, hey, if this guy could show up every day and he got a degree, he's gonna show up every day to work. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what it is, and somehow, they'll teach you the rest from right there. You just got to know and the importance and the value of your household and where you want to go. And I want to teach our young kids, man. I want not just my wife, but look at E-Visions has a testimony. Check out Southtown has a testimony. Even engineers who do music, man. The people who do beats and all, they call themselves engineers. For why? Because every day they got to mess with those, the volumes of the ups and the downs and the highs and the lows. And it takes a lot just to start a beat, man. You just don't go out there and just hit a drum, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that go behind it. So shout out to the engineers in the music industry.
Yeah. And that's a great trade to
Yes,
take. Like,
sir.
even if you do music, people out there that say, I do music, I rap, whatever you do, that's a good field to go into. So even if you do music, you can go in there and be a little more ahead of the game if you know how to engineer. You know what I mean? You know how to do these things in the studio besides just sitting there and rap. You know what I mean? So it's classes for that as well.
Right.
That's what
Right,
love to
man.
do.
I mean, even I just had it in the tip of my tongue right now. I mean, there's just so much trades gaming, for all the gamers that are out there, man, there's a trade in that, you know what I'm saying? The graphics designs and so forth, man, all these clothing lines and all that's out there, man, it's just like, you got to take a course, man. And there's so many, like I said, there's
something right
trade
there.
schools and so forth, man. It's just, hey,
whatever you're into, man. I tripped out when I went to Cancun, out there at the time. This was like 10 years ago, but the youngster out there, they had just got into the barbershops, and I didn't know they have like competitions. And out here, he was talking about the competitions out here in Cali. I didn't even know they had them. He was telling me about it. So when I got back, I looked it up. But anything you get into, man, if you really want to get into it, like with DJing, they got DJ competitions. And right, G-Lew, they got like, they got the biggest one is like in Europe, right? Or used to be.
Yeah.
And like with dog shows too. Like with dog shows, you can make money showing dogs. You can make $150 minimum in 30 minutes showing a dog.
For everything. That just like what you're saying is something for everything, whatever you like to do. Like I think M-Star said, just be passionate about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can make it happen. You got to put the work in regardless.
Yeah.
That's another subject right there, man. You just putting in the work, man. There's a lot. There's a lot to go to schooling, man. Like I said, we pretty much us right here have almost similar stories, man. As I say, full-time job. Some of us we have kids, and we made those sacrifices, man. Just trying to go in there and just try to better yourself, And there's nothing wrong with it, because even growing up, I remember, the homies used to mock you if you even knew 1 + 1 was like, oh, you're a geek,
Yeah, cool,
oh, you're
right.
this, oh, you that.
Hey, I was just gonna say that the homies would be like, "Orale, this vato knows how to read," and they'd be like, "Yeah, I know how to read, fool."
The homies used to,
But that's sad, though, right? That's sad how we were brought up to think, homie, and that's why we were behind too. Now all you know what I mean, like we gotta catch up, we gotta play catch up. You feel me?
Yeah, exactly. Because I was, like I said, I was a prodigy of that. You know what I'm saying? When I was going to continuation, like freaking E-Visions, I went in continuation too. But before I went there, I was in the 10th grade. And then after my English teacher said, like, because I used to read the books, bro, and I used to just cultivate and remember everything. And they brought my mom in. They said, hey, like, this guy needs to go to a special class, And after, and then my mom told me, like, what I mean? And when you hear special class, I shouted to the homies, And they're like, oh, fool, you're a freaking pendejo, dog.
Little yellow bus.
I was like, hey, homie, but I know how to read, dog. What do you, I'm not, it's not because I don't know how to read. It's because I know how to read and what's going on. You're a pendejo, dog. That's for levas. And you're a schoolboy. Am I lying, dog?
Nah, he ain't lying.
So, hey, dog, like, I kind of felt like, hey, homie, like, nah, dog, I can't do this. So I freaking, rejected that opportunity, bro, to go and to really, expand my mind and to better myself, knowing that, but next, I shorthanded myself, because I was just like, nah, that's for freaking, for levas, hey, that's for the.
Now, I just thought about, hey, Big D, that's like, you ever go, I don't know, this happened to me, dog, but not because I didn't know how to spell, but I couldn't hit up, bro. I thought it was so easy, and it looked so sloppy. The homies almost beat me up. Like, man, cover that shit up. That shit looks horrible.
It takes work. You got to learn how to hit up right. It takes time, right?
Hey, and then there's homies though that don't know how to spell the homies' names wrong and shit.
Oh my
like,
God.
hey, fool, that's not how you spell it.
It's probably road with 2 hoes, dog. Road.
Oh shit.
It was just
time.
But
see, that's how you get a youngster to want to learn. A youngster that don't know nothing, tell them, come on, G, you don't want to be embarrassed.
Yeah, what's up, John, though? It's crazy though, dog, because how I was saying it earlier, dog, like there's education, there's clash on the streets too, dog.
Yeah.
There's a lot of clash on the streets, homie. Like E-Vision said too, you gotta know street smart, you gotta know book smart, dog. If you know both of them together, you ain't really losing, dog. You're winning at all obligation. Not to say I don't want to go tell all the youngsters, hey, go do bad things and then learn from it and then go to school. No, it's just better to stay away from the bad things and stick to the good things, man, because that's just the life that I chose. And I ain't gonna say I know everything, but I ain't gonna say I know nothing either. So it's just like, you gotta pick and choose, and it's hard sometimes, man. Just like E-Vision was tapping into is just the household, bro. A lot of us in the 80s and the 70s, a lot of our family and our ancestors came from Mexico. They didn't know a darn thing about English. So how were they supposed to teach you, anything that had to do? English is one of the main.
It was working, bro. Yeah.
English is one of the main. It's English, math, and what else? I know those are the two primaries. You got to know your mathematicals, and you got to know how to talk English, man. Those are the two main things. And if you don't know,
and your parents worked all the time. Like they don't have time. Never got homework.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were at work, man. So that's how it was back then, man. We raised ourselves for the most part. Because mom and dad were either working or, and we were out in the street, and that's just kind of how it was. But I was blessed though, like he was saying though, like E-Visions was saying though, and G-Lew, it's a family and it's the example, because that's one thing that I was blessed to have. My uncles, even though they were like cholos and shit, they went to school, they were responsible, and they did their thing. But my uncle was super smart, man. He had a real high IQ. So he would always encourage me, and I would see him reading books. So I seen it as a good thing. I never saw it as like, a bad thing, you know. I just made mistakes when I should have focused, you know.
Right. I should not let the homies manipulate me, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, fellas. Hey, man, I don't mean to interrupt you guys, man, but I'm about to cut it short, man. I gotta it's usually around this time my kids they read before they go to bed, so I
There
gotta
you
get in
go,
daddy
big
mode.
dog. You take care of your family, your visions. Thanks for tapping in.
Hey,
homie.
G-Lew, thank you for having me on. Big D, Southtown.
Yeah.
Hey,
Good
E
night,
Vision,
bro.
I'm gonna be in touch with you, homie.
Good
I'd
job,
love to
man.
bring you back and have a conversation. I'm gonna be in touch with you, bro.
Yeah, man, hit me up, man. We'll do something. I'm down. I'm always down for a good conversation, man.
All right, bro.
All right, you guys stay good.
Shout out to E Visions, man. Great, gave
What's
some great
good?
insight.
What's good, fellas?
What up, Rich?
Yeah, man.
What
But
up,
it's
everyone
just
in the chat?
yeah, you got that number. Call in, man. You know, give us a piece of your mind. Don't
Yeah,
be
if
shy.
anyone wants to call in,
Yeah,
you can
don't
call
be
in. There's
shy.
the number right there.
You know, we don't got all the answers. We might got some. You got 3 brains right here, man. 3 brains are better than 1. I'll tell you that. But there's power. There's power in knowledge, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, even the Bible says, man, I think in the book, Southtown, right? In the book of Hosea, right? People perish because of lack of knowledge, dog. You know, even
Yeah, bro. Well,
even
that's it.
even
Yeah,
Jesus
no.
Christ, even Jesus Christ had to get educated, dog. You know what I'm saying?
It's in it's even it might even be in Galatians, I believe too. But yes, it says because it's quoting the Old Testament, but it's saying that my people perish due to lack of knowledge, and
Yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly what it says.
yeah. You know, so it's telling you, man. You know, you got to teach yourself, man. Getting your education comes with a lot of discipline, man. You got to sit on the table. I mean, like I said, man, you're having your dinner, you're eating, you're online. You know, you're sending. You know, it's just the blackboard. And I used to hate the blackboard, man. You know, just like, oh man, here we go. There's a lot of hiccups. You got to depend on other people. You got to make sure people are on the same page. And I was more invert, to tell you the truth. Yeah, I like to I had to go to school in class. I couldn't do really computers and. You know, most of my classes when I went was in the campus. You know, I felt a little weird too, to tell you the truth, man, because you know I got a plaqueazos blasted behind my head, and that time I was a little younger, so I would go to school. So you kind of feel a little awkward, right? You feel a little awkward. You know, the pelon, the Mexican guy. You know, he has creases on his sleeves. You know, creases on his
My name is Demon from Fabulous Pee Wee Locals, Westside Whittier.
A long time ago, if you don't know, now you know, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but
dog.
Your name is David? What's your name then, bro?
No, it was Demon, homie. They used to call. That's why I call him.
No, but what's your real name? What's your real name?
Robert.
Robert.
Oh, Robert.
Robert.
Man, big Rob. You know what I mean? ROBRT. I just played that.
Big Rob Bass,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's funny how you used to say that too, dog. You know how the homies used to spell and all that? It was like, oh my God, dog. Like, you spell quiet without the I, homie. Like, are you serious, dog? Like,
nah, hey, bro, at the church we were at, homie, we taught this one Vato how to read, bro, a Bible study, because he didn't know, so we all knew, but every week we would, and bro, he left learning how to read, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was a blessing, bro. Anytime, man, you can help people learn and improve. Yeah. But you know what? Like what the homies doing, what I used to do, I want to get back into it, is the mentoring. There should be there's mentoring programs everywhere, and that's usually like kids that are 18 and before they hit 21 or 25. And the center that I used to go to were kids that were there willingly. They weren't there by force, so they were there, so they wanted to learn and change, right? And it was cool, man, because I got to turn a lot of them on into the dog world and to just like veterinary, like, you know, the pet industry is a huge industry too, man.
It is, man. You know, people love their animals.
And that's the thing too, you know, not everybody, some kids, you know, and some people might not even have anything that one thing that they're passionate about, but they might be good at like organizing or being like nowadays, man, there's some people that are just good at selling stuff, posting and selling, and you know, they have their own little niche. Like I think one of my nephews, he sells like vintage clothes, bro.
Right.
Like just old school, the clothes we used to wear back in the 80s, 90s, and he sells it online, dog. It's crazy.
Right. I mean, but you know, when it comes to stuff like that, you got to know your history, dad. You can't be like, oh, these Ben Davis are from 1990. Like, okay,
Exactly. Yeah, you got to study your trade or learn what you're in. Yeah, yeah.
got to know the fabrics, and there's a lot of it that goes to clothing. So, like when people tell me, it's like, hey, what's the best things you could get into when it comes to education? I always tell them the stuff that human beings will always need, bro. You know, education. Clothing is a tough department, right? Fashion, you know, making clothes, dickies. I go, hey, if you really have passion, you're good at it. I mean, people, you can't walk around naked, dog. Not in this part of the world, dog. You get busted for it, dog. You know what I'm saying? Another thing is freaking you know, when it comes to like how do you say that?
Security, medical, yeah.
Medical industry is another one. You know, because you're always gonna need doctors, you're always gonna need dentists, you're always gonna need freaking you know, X-ray techs or so forth. That's another
stand to deliver.
Male nurse.
Yes, you're always gonna need nurse and all that. And medical field is always gonna be around, man. Engineers is always going to be around, right? You always got to have engineers to, you know, whether it's music, you know, whether it's building a building or so forth, man, you know. So always tap into, you know what I mean, an industry that human beings are going to need, no matter the food industry, work at a market, you know, work at a dairy company, you know, so forth. The water department, you know, you're always going to need you have distribution of water, you got to treat water. I mean, there's just get into an industry, man, that's just going to, you know, carpentry, like we mentioned. You know what I'm saying? You know, flooring's always going to be
electrician, plumbing, whatever. You know what I mean?
And, you know, it's just those are the type of industries you got to get something that you can last in, and that's always going to just be there, man. You know, and you can't fill up with those.
Yep. Go ahead, Southtown.
Oh no, I was going to say and then you know, and then for the people that I'm not sure how it is now, but I know like I have a few friends that, because of their felonies, couldn't work anywhere, so they had to basically start their own job, man. So one of my friends, he started his own auto detailing business, and man, that's another business that if you do your research, get the right equipment, that's a big demand in California, especially in LA, San Diego, Orange County. Man, my boy, he's busy 24/7, man, and he stays swole. Hey, and he stays swole because he's doing wax on, wax off all day. So no lie, my boy stays in shape. Like he still goes to the gym. He don't need to, but he stays in shape because I've worked with him too, and we do RVs sometimes, bro. And when you do a whole RV, like that's real talk. You're doing this the whole thing, and then you take it off, then you do it again. But it's cool. It's cool work. You're outside. You make really good money, and you work for yourself. So he takes his days off. He's always there for his kids. He could coach. So, you know, there's positives and negatives to everything. But I wanted to say that because I remember there's a lot of people out there that might not be able to work a conventional job or even be able to go to school, to a traditional school. But like I said, you can always take a trade or become an expert at whatever you're doing. But if you got to get your own hustle, you know, definitely like auto detailing. And then, you know, out here too, man, you could teach English, man. Like, believe it or not, teaching English, people from other countries.
Yeah, and
so many foreigners here that want to learn English from Americans. They don't want to learn it from foreigners that learned it. They want to, because when I go to Mexico, that's one. I don't know if you ever noticed that, Big D, but they have signs everywhere. The further south you go, they have signs in their internet cafes, because out there they still got cafes because not everybody has internet at home, and they have looking for English teachers or will pay to learn English. And bro, you know, business people will pay a lot of money, man.
They will trip out on this. G-Lew had somebody a while back, one of his homies who played for the Clippers, and he's over there. Where's he at, Pops?
Yeah, he was in
somewhere in Europe, right? Am I right?
Translating,
and he speaks English, bro, and or his wife does, and she gets paid for doing that, bro. And he's able to make, they're both able to. And I told you that in Europe when I went to Amsterdam, the guy told us they pay you, dog. You know, just for English. You teach an English class.
Hey, especially if they got kids, bro. A parent will pay anything for their kid to learn the best, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, can you teach Johnny? I want him to learn English, proper English."
Right, because
Boom, there you go. You got a job.
Everybody around the world, you know what I mean, the common language is English, to tell you the truth. And then you got your native language, you know what I'm saying? And then you got Chinese, speak Chinese, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, but and not just that, but Spanish is, I think, the dominant language in the world, but English is, but everybody, but everybody is taught to learn English everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like you said,
it's the primary language in most senses. So, you know,
but even Spanish, big deep,
you could be a teacher in other countries and get paid for that. Because I remember G-Lew's friend, right? He was somewhere, his wife was teaching those classes, so he was able to do his basketball thing, and then while his wife does it, and then he said he makes a good living, that they're comfortable.
But even here, if you're bilingual here, if you speak Spanish, you could. One of my aunts is the bilingual at the courthouse, a court translator.
Right.
Bro, she makes bank.
Right.
She makes bank.
They get paid, dog.
And not very many people could do that anymore, man. If you could speak Spanish, if you're bilingual, like you could really, like I could do it. I just haven't. It's not really something I want to do. Right. But I know if I wanted to, I could get a real good job just translating. You know what I'm saying? Because I could read and write in Spanish.
Oh, all right. Yeah. If you could also write in that language, man, that's even acceptable. I mean, the common languages, like you said, like in California. And the West Coast, when you work in a warehouse, man, most people they speak English, and a lot of people speak Spanish.
Spanglish,
a lot of jobs they want you to.
Yeah, we speak Spanglish out here, dog. Hey,
yeah, they want to be bilingual, but being bilingual is a plus nowadays.
Yeah, you got to be bilingual, bro. And the west side of the states over here, you know, it's a big plus. Like, you got to be able to speak both languages, man, because a lot of people are coming from a Spanish community, you know, to tell you the truth. So
yeah, bro. I mean, it just makes sense. With the borders right here, bro. This was you know, our land. We're here. It'd be like if we were at the border of anywhere else, wherever it is. Like, I'm sure up by Canada, you got more people that have that Canadian accent because they're right on the border of Canada. You know?
They still speak English, you know what I'm saying?
But they just speak it like, you know,
with a slur. You know what I'm saying?
Like, hey, you know, they do that and all that shit.
Hey. But see, that's another thing too. It's French, because you got to understand, when this country was developing already, when it was being already taken over or conquered, you know, you had the Concordians, right? The Spanish, you know, it was what's the name? Cortez came in. You also had the French. You know what I'm saying? Louisiana's, you know, is run by French. You know what I mean? Dominance. It's territory. French territory. So when the United States was expanding, they went to the West Coast, bro. They wanted to go all the way. They wanted coast to coast. You know, they separated the border from, you know, the land from, they made a border, dog. You know what I'm saying? They made, you know, divided Mexico, and then the French went all the way up to Canada. You know, don't you notice that the French, a lot of us, and the British, you know, it's British Columbia. You know what I mean? What else you got? There's other stuff that relates to Europe. So
yeah, France was real dominant for a long time. They had, I think, Maui. Like they originally had claim on Maui. They try to conquer, you know, that's part of that. Cinco de Mayo is Mexico's independence from France, not from Spain. That's a whole different thing.
Right. I didn't know about Maui though.
Yeah, I didn't know until recently either. My Hawaiian homie was telling me. He was telling me the whole story of the unification of the Hawaiian Islands, and they were all like one. Portugal had one, France had one, and then when Captain Cook got there to Oahu, which was a bigger one than those other ones, or I think he got to the Big Island. And it's a trip though, how every culture has like the returning god being white in color, right? So because he was white, they thought he was Lono, which is the Hawaiian god, but because he didn't know how to respond, they put their hand out.
Exactly.
And because he didn't respond right, then they knew instantly, like, oh man, this dude ain't him. And they didn't assault him the first time. I believe he came back because a lot of the history, of course, isn't told correctly. But from what my boy told me, he ended up coming back and forth way before they took over. You know.
Well, trip on this. I'll tell you, a lot of things trip me on because people say, like, you know, for instance, like the pyramids, right? And they wonder why, bro. Like, hey, how did the pyramids were freaking put in, and that was so high with the rectangle square, really petite, you know, perfectly. It was designed perfectly, bro.
Yeah.
And they think freaking Marvin the Martian came over and freaking built an ET. They built the pyramids, dog. And it's just like, no, You put a million freaking, you know, back then there was a lot of slavery. Let's keep it real, bro. You know what I'm saying? And they came in and you put a million guys with those big rocks behind their back. They're gonna make something, dog. Men has been creating stuff from back in the days, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're builders, man. You know, don't matter what part of the world you come from. You know, look how important, like, you know what I'm saying? Like look how man have created airplanes, bro. They created freaking cars. They created, you know, the man that you put a man in the island, homie. You think he's not gonna survive? I mean, look at
hold up,
Big
Big. Yeah. You see, I think we got a caller. Caller, hello.
Right.
Yo, can you guys call him Big D down there for a little bit, man? Homeboy's getting real. He's getting real about all this, man. You know what I mean? Hey, didn't James Brown say the man created everything for the woman, right? So there it is, man. How you doing, fellas? How you doing?
What
Who
up,
is
Big
this? Who's tapping in, man? Is this the official Big Joe?
Big dog. That's the big dog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm just calling in. I've been listening to you guys, man. You guys are like that new round table right there, man. You're about to spin game. Knowledge you can't get in college, like the other homie says. But man, you guys are really doing it, man. I appreciate you guys big time.
Thank you, homie.
Yeah. Appreciate the support,
Thanks,
Joe,
Big
man.
Joe.
You know, thanks for calling in.
What's up, Big Joe?
Your support, man. That means a lot. You know, swinging by. We're just trying to get a little pleasure, man. You know, I don't know if it takes you down memory lane, but I hope you know what 1 + 1 is, homie.
Yeah, that's 7, dog. That's 7 in my world. No, but seriously, man, you guys are doing it, and if you could just reach like one person, man, and it's all worth it. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so,
sir.
Yeah, you're doing it, man. I appreciate you doing South Down right there, spinning and everything, dog. Big D, G-Lew. Man, that's all love for you, Vatos, man. Big time.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Big Joe.
Likewise, Big Joe.
We just want to encourage people, Big Joe, and let them know, no matter, you know, what background they come from or the mistakes that you've done in the past, that anything is still possible if you put your mind to it, man, you know? And like, you know, how we were talking, I know you're involved in the, you know, movie industry and so forth. You know, there's even education behind that, you know?
Yeah, it would be better, but yeah, there's a lot to that, man. There's a lot to that. And I know G-Lew, man, I missed a message, I think from DD about on your show. Yeah, I barely saw it today, and I responded today.
Okay.
To that. Yeah, man, anytime on your show, man, I'm always here for you guys.
Okay.
And yeah, you know, that's what we do, man. We got to do it for each other, you know?
Yes, sir.
Big D.
Yes,
South
sir.
Down, everybody knows, man. Yeah, we're doing it.
Yes, sir.
But
yeah, man, thank you.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go, man. But you know what? Just keep on doing it, keep pushing it, man. And you got a listener right here, Big Joe, man. New show and everything you guys are talking about. So you know what? Let's talk about it instead.
Let's talk about it.
Thanks,
man.
Thanks,
Big
man.
homie.
Later.
I'll be hitting you up soon, too. All right, Big Joe.
Yeah, late.
All right. Shout out to the big homie, Big Joe, man. That was big right there.
Shout out to Big Joe, man. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it real, dog. You know what that call is.
Keeping it real.
Yeah, man. And like I said, man, you know, it's just, you know, like I said, even the movie industry, you got to have some kind of education, man. They're looking, you know, actors have to take college courses themselves. They got to take acting class. And, you know, depending, like I said, man, whatever your heart and you have passion about, we said it already. And just follow your passion, man, because you'll lead to your dreams. You know, nothing is impossible if you put your mind, especially the effort. And that's the main thing, man, is it takes a lot of effortness and a lot of discipline. I think we covered that too. So, you know, if you have kids, man, make sure you inspire them, you know, make sure you support them and teach them, man, that, hey, the importance of, you know, knowing the value of themselves and to educating themselves, because, you know, this is a free country, man. You know, education is a big thing right now that they're pushing in. You know, a lot of times we wake up and, you know, we are undecided in life on what we want to do. It's sad to say there's a lot of people that are undecided, but just, you know, like general eds, I think Southtown, you were talking about that, right? You could just start on your general eds, man. You know, just
if you're not sure what you want to do, and here's the other thing too, like of course, you know, you got to use wisdom, and you don't want to get stuck. Or some people are afraid to go to school where they're told like, hey, you're gonna be in all this debt. So here's one thing that a lot of people might not know, but school loans, not only are they typically usually at the lowest rate, like I think mine was at like 2% or 1%, but they're like for 30 years. So they make it to where that's not very smart. The percentage is low. They're gonna make money off of you, but you have a long time to pay it back. Of course, I would advise you to pay it back immediately. But what I'm saying is, as long as you stay in school, you don't have a payment.
Yeah.
And a lot of times there's companies that pay you for tuition. So like when the school bills you for that class, you give it to your job, and that job pays you for that class. And you could either pay the college immediately, partially, and then you use some of that for your books, your gas, your time. And so that's a benefit you can get if you work for like the Border Patrol, certain companies. Like you could just ask, look, go to your HR, go to your website of your company, and you can see right there if they have tuition reimbursement, and they'll reimburse you for going to school. So that's one way you can tap in to going back to school and then paying for it, because that's one thing you don't want to have either. You don't want to go to medical school to go get your lawyer's degree and all that and have a lot of debt. So I paid a lot of mine back as I was going to school because I didn't want to have that big payment, and I still owe a little bit. But like I said, some people just stay in school, and then you just defer that payment until, however long you want, until you get your master's, your PhD. And by then, with that kind of money, you could pay it off quickly.
Exactly. I mean, that's the whole purpose, man, right? They hold down, you paying them while you're in school, so you could get that job because they know you're going to reimburse them back. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like a loan.
They're investing in you. It's a loan. They're investing in you. And then the other thing too is if you join the military, that's a good benefit of joining the military. You get the GI Bill, and then you don't have to worry about that. And you got the commissary exchange. You can learn a trade in the military. You can become a mechanic or whatever you want to become that's open at that time that you qualify for. And then that could pay for your school too. And then, that's a smart way to do it too. Again, it just depends. My nephew Antonio, shout out to him. He just made it to the Army. Like I think he's 19, 20. He was like that. He didn't know. He was trying to apply. He couldn't really figure out what he wanted to do. And then he finally just was like, you know what? Looked into the Army, got into the Army, and now he's a whole another person, man. He's living life. He's enjoying life. He's doing great.
Right. And it's good to start off young too, because not only that, you could go to get your 8-year and get your PhD and so forth, or 10 years, right? But a lot of people,
you could play sports in the military. You could do anything in the military too, man. They got Army's got a football team. Like it just depends on every talent you got, man.
But one thing is true, like if you start school young, which my advice to all you youngsters coming out of high school and so forth, you could double major. You could double major later on in life. You know what I'm saying? You could double major. A lot of people don't realize that you could double major. You could have your bachelor's in English and have your master's and another degree in science or so forth. And people stay in school and they keep, like you said, they re-educate themselves, to make themselves, because man, the more you obtain, I can't say it any more than what I have probably 1,000 times. Hopefully I'll say it 1,000 more. Knowledge is power, man. You got to keep. There's nothing wrong with retraining or knowing more of having that knowledge, man. And that wisdom to go out and to share it, man. Because it's like I said, I've seen old people in school, man. I mean to say elderly people, should I say? Let me take that back. I see a lot of elderly people, and I see young. You see different colors, different race, different nationalities, and young and old. There's a lot of people, and that's why I like to go in school personally instead of doing stuff on online, because it gave me that I was more comfortable. Like, oh man, I was like 30 years old at that time, 35, and I thought I was going to be the oldest cat in school. And like, nah, man, there's people not realizing like, wow, people go to school all the way. They take a course every semester, and there's nothing wrong with that, man.
Hey, Big D, you know how you were talking about in class? Well, check this out. I mean, I'm not tatted on my head or nothing, right? But I've always kind of looked the same as shit.
Yeah.
Bro, at University of Phoenix, you got to get up in front of the class once a week. That's one thing that when you leave that college, you are not afraid to speak in front of people. They make sure. I give that school credit, man. If you graduated from UOP, there's no way you're shy because they make you speak in front of the class every week, man, from the gate. Like when you get there, usually the first week of class, you gotta say who you are, tell your story, and that's really the first night. That's really what it is getting to know everybody, getting to know the teacher, and then all the learning comes later, depending on the teacher. And that's one thing I love too, man. My teachers were CEOs, man, multi-millionaires, like people that traveled the world, like people that you could just, man, can you tell us about this, man? And we would just, like a lot of times, man, we would just get the teacher to tell us stories and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Just inspired by all the, you know, testimonies and, you know, where they come and, you know, how they done
like
it.
you said, it makes you want to me, it made me want to learn more. And I want to be like that dude because it opens up the doors to the whole world. Like, and then it's nothing better than understanding what's going on. And when you hear something, like for example, I don't know about you guys, man, but like the first time I ever flew, and then first class, it was just like the movies. I didn't know what was going on. I had to just watch and copy. Like when they brought the rag and shit, you know, and I'm like, okay, all right,
It's so funny.
And I see, I was like, okay, like
you get
little
treated
things like
different.
that.
You get first class is better than, you know what I mean? You know, you get
it's a trip, bro, but you know what I'm saying?
It's not to, you know, say that you're any better than anybody, because I used to be like that in the neighborhood. I used to hate the, you know, the guys with the nice cars and everything. I go, look at this schmuck, you know, look at this.
Hey, G-Lew.
This freaking mama's boy, you know? And they not realizing that they were going to school and putting in that work and they were grinding and, you know, not knowing that, hey, man, you know, they were trying to make themselves better. While I was out there on the streets doing the wrong grinding, homie, you know, my thing was trying to spell my name, dog. I thought that was feeding me, you know, spell out the neighbor. I thought I was my English class, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I thought putting the bullets inside the gun was just like, okay, I know the difference between 6 holes and putting, you know, 4 bullets in there. That means I'm short 2. It's just, it was a different way of education, man. And it's just, you know, it was crazy, man. And you know, you have to have that self-confidence, you know, to go to school because, you know, like I said, you know, a lot of emotions go back. You know, I thought I was the only gang member that being in public school. You know, it's just like, man, and I do
flashbacks from elementary school.
I do got a tattoo on my head, so you know, the most things that come, you think people are gonna judge you. You think you're out of your element. Like I'm surrounded by homies. I'm used to the county jail, dog. Like homies. I mean, even in prison, they teach you classes. Homie, they teach you how to weld. You know what I mean? They teach you how to do a lot of things. So there's even classes even in prison. So they're trying to educate even the inmates, bro. You know what I mean? They have to pick up a trade. So, you know, prepare them for when they come out, man, you know, to teach them something. They have schooling in there to get your diploma and so forth. But it's a choice, man, because a lot of homies, you know, there's a lot of politics that go behind it too, man. They don't want you to go to school because the numbers, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, while you're at school, dog, you know, there might be a riot. There might be 2 of us and 10 guys are going to school. So, you know, things hold you back, man. There's a lot of politics that go into this, you know.
Hey, but you know, I want to do some practical things too. Like I don't know where you guys are at, man. And if you need some help, let me know. But like I'm down to do like a class or not a class. I guess it would be like a class or a course to help homies and let them know it's okay to go to the low cut, no show socks, homie. You can graduate from the knee highs, and I can guide you through, or we could take it step by step. You could go smaller and smaller. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta let that warrior go, dog. You don't need to have that. You know what made me stop? Hey, you know what made me stop, homie? My coworkers, this little paisa, we used to clown each other and we used to draw things against each other. We used to clown, right? And this fool drew me like Benjamin Franklin. And he's like, "What? Hey, the homies, you guys look like Benjamin Franklin with
already, huh? You're like, okay,
I couldn't do it no more after that.
You're part of this group right here. You know what I'm saying?
Just don't let me see you in no skinny jeans, Southtown.
Oh, nah. Hell nah. If you do, hey, homie, it's a DP on site, homie. Take flight on me.
Hey, homie, that's a regular on your own. You got to beat yourself up, dog. You know
oh man,
but
bro. Hey, Trip, bro. I don't have any like the wearing socks like that for so long. Like it's a trip, dog. But anyways, I like to joke around about it. But yeah, we can sock check and it's still all good, man. I can help people transition, like I said.
Yeah.
No, listen, it's a time and a place for everything, homie. Period.
No, I know.
Yeah, yeah, there is, and people shouldn't be judged because of their past mistakes, man. You know, there's always, things. I mean, my wife always told me too, man. She's, I remember going to school. She's like, Big D, you know what I mean? If you had time to party in the world, you were out there 7 days out of the week, 24 hours, you were committed to this, you were gangbanging, you're doing this, and you can't go to school for like, you know what I'm saying, to better yourself and get paid. So that was one of her ways of always pumping me up. She always bring that party session. Like if you used to party back in the days and be up all night, and wake up, you only sleep 2-3 hours and you used to get up and go to do your thing and all that. Why wouldn't you do it to better educate yourself, and not only that for your benefit, but for our family too. So, I was a big inspiration. I remember one time, my uncle came over and he was partying, and I stood up all night. We're hanging out, and I was like, "Hey, uncle, I got to do my homework, right?" So I stood out with him to like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I had a Saturday class, and then he goes, "You're gonna go to school at 7 in the morning?" I go, "Yeah, I have to." He's, "Are you sure, man?" And I finished my work. I went to school. I came back. Homeboy still snoring. And just to know, like, wow, man, it makes them laugh. Like, I remember that day you were doing your homework, bro, and you went, and I brought back the test, and you had an A+, and I was just like, hey, it's how bad you want it. There's no excuses, man, when it comes to what you're passionate about. People are passionate about their music. People are passionate about their literature, their drawing, their education, and they're gonna do whatever it takes, man, to succeed, man. And that's what it is. It's not to make everybody else better, because you got those that are people that are out there, they think they're better. Well, I got my degree and blah blah blah. They're just too smart from their own smarts. But it's just like, man, this is a big celebration, like I said, to all of us, man, and for everybody that just like supported my wife and was online and gave her all her congratulations, man. This is a win for all of us, people, because I'll let my wife come out, and one of these days, hopefully Jill will have her, and she'll tell her story, man, where she came from, and the sacrifices, and where she was and where she's at now. It doesn't matter where you were back then, it's matter where you're at now. I'm saying? We can always make those changes. So, shout out to everybody who supported us and gave us all the congratulations, because like I said, man, we all win. I mean, we're all part of the protege. My wife,
It's a big accomplishment, man. Yeah.
Accomplishment, and it's just letting everybody know, and the support in the channels, and whoever views this, I mean, from the States to the to the world, man, that anything that's possible, because a lot of people in other countries, you'll get killed for going to school.
Yeah, or they don't got time. They got to go to work. They won't have any food,
Or they don't got a schooling system, to tell you the truth. They don't even know what
school
is.
Yeah, or they don't even exactly, or they don't even have
a. There's
I know.
Like women can't even go to school in certain countries. People are fighting for their rights to this day. It's a big threat to other countries when people and women or children or men who are educated, man, because, people who in higher power, they don't want people to learn. They don't want them to know. What I mean? They want to run they want to rule their country with the iron fist, man. And the less power they have, and the less knowledge and what's happening around the world, the less power, the more dominion they have towards them. They could rule them, man. So there's dictators, bro. Right here, and this is the land of the free and the home of the brave. You want to go to school, you go to school. If you don't, then that's on you, dog. Straight up.
Yep. Yes, sir. Well, I guess we talked about it tonight, right? I think we talked about it.
We talked about it, baby. We talked about it, man. So
yes, we talked. Hold up. Okay, had an echo. Go ahead, bro.
We talked about it, man. Like I said, appreciate everybody for tapping in. It's been a while, so I hope you guys got what you guys lacked in the last couple of weeks, but we're still doing it. It's continuous. We here on Monday. We appreciate everybody who swang by, gave us congratulations, are still rocking with us, man. Like I said, I'm your co-host, Big D, from the Big D Keeping It Real YouTube channel. It's my boy right here, G-Lew, is my homie, Southtown right here. And we'll be back again with another one. So with that being said, you know how I finish it. You know how the way we started, that's the way we're going to
finish it, baby. Yeah.
That's right. God bless.
Much love.
Southtown, shoot it, Southtown.
Shoot it, homie. Oh, he said he's done.
Hey, thank you, man. Hey, thanks for having me on, man. Congratulations again to your wifey. Thank you again, G-Lew. And I'm working on doing something down here in San Diego. I'll keep you guys posted, man. But hopefully we can do something together, like go live together, or even just get together and give testimony like to some youngsters live. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. Whatever you need, dog, to help the next generation, dog. You know, let's do it. Let's take care of business, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir. Much love, Southtown. We'll be in touch, homie. Shout out to the homie Big D, keeping it real. Congratulations to Monica. Once again, this show is dedicated to you and everyone out there. Remember to make every day count. And remember, 7 days without prayer makes 1 week. WEAK.
Let's talk about it. Yo, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yo, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yo, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yo, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Take us out of here, Big D.
Congratulations to all the class of 2023. Congratulations. With that being said, bah, I'm out. A rato, G-Lew. I'll talk to you later, homie.
Peace. We'll see you guys later on in the week. Everyone have a great rest of your week. Thank you for the love, support, and all that. And if you missed Odie's Woo Forever Sundays last night, go check that out because it was dope. Okay. Shout out to my partner, Nate Love. Shout out to my producer, DD Hairston, all the sponsors. And we'll see you maybe on Friday. Peace and love, y'all. We out of here.